Ever wondered what the oldest currency still in use is? Well, let me take you on a journey to the land of tea, crumpets, and the Queen to talk about a currency that's been around for quite some time. We're talking about the British pound. Yes, you heard that right. The British pound, also known as pound sterling, is the world's oldest currency still in use, dating back to Anglo-Saxon Britain. Now, that's a long time to stay in the game. But how did it all start? Well, the pound's story began around the 8th century when silver pennies, known as sterlings, were the main currency. And here's a fun fact for you. 240 of these pennies weighed exactly 1 pound, hence the name pound sterling. Now, isn't that fascinating? But the pound didn't stop evolving there. Oh no, it went through quite a transformation. By the 17th century, gold coins entered circulation. And then, fast forward to the 19th century, paper notes made their grand debut. These were initially handwritten and could be exchanged for gold or silver from the bank. Fast forward to today, the pound we know and love has become a symbol of Britain's economic prowess. It's one of the world's most traded currencies, and its symbol, the majestic X, is recognized worldwide. But let's not forget about the coins. From the humble penny to the 2-pound coin, each piece tells a story, adorned with symbols of British history and royalty. And if you're lucky enough to come across a 50-pence piece, you'll find it isn't round but heptagonal, a unique shape among world currencies. So, the next time you find yourself in Britain, sipping on a cup of tea, and you happen to have a pound in your hand, take a moment to appreciate it. Because you're not just holding a piece of currency, you're holding a piece of history. After all, it's not every day you get to touch something that's been around for over 12 centuries. So next time you have a pound in your hand, remember, you're holding a piece of history. Before we continue, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you don't miss our next awesome video. Drop a comment below to share your thoughts or any topics you'd love to see in future videos. Heard the story of the billionaire who lost it all? Let's wind back the clock to the year 2012 when Eike Batista, a Brazilian businessman, was sitting on top of the world. He was the 7th richest person on the planet, with a net worth estimated at $30 billion. But things took a dramatic turn for Batista, and within just a year, he found himself at the precipice of financial ruin. Batista's rise to wealth was as rapid as his fall. His fortune was built on the backbone of his company, OGX, an oil and gas exploration firm. But it wasn't just oil and gas that fueled his wealth. Batista had his fingers in various pies, including mining, real estate, and logistics. However, it was the very diversity of his investments that eventually led to his downfall. In the years leading up to his financial collapse, Batista became increasingly ambitious. He began to pursue high-risk, high-reward projects, betting big on new oil fields and mining ventures. However, these investments were based more on speculation than solid financial analysis. And when these ventures failed to deliver, the value of his companies plummeted, sending shockwaves through his financial empire. As the market turned against him, Batista found himself in a financial freefall. His wealth evaporated at a staggering rate, and by the end of 2013, he had a negative net worth. The man who was once the 7th richest person in the world had lost everything. The tale of Eike Batista is a cautionary one. It underscores the importance of diversification and risk management in finance. It reminds us that while high-risk investments can yield high rewards, they can also lead to catastrophic losses if not managed properly. Batista's story serves as a stark reminder. Fortunes can be fleeting, no matter how vast. Winning the lottery seems like a dream come true, but is it really? Imagine the confetti falling, the champagne popping, and the massive check with your name on it. Yet, the glittering facade often conceals a less cheerful reality. Case in point, Jack Whitaker, a businessman who won a whopping $314.9 million in the Powerball lottery, the largest single-ticket lottery jackpot at the time. His life after the win was marred by legal troubles, personal loss, and public scandal. His story is a stark reminder that sudden wealth can bring about unforeseen challenges. Then there's William Bud Post, who won $16.2 million in the Pennsylvania lottery. Within a year, he was $1 million in debt and later declared bankruptcy. He famously said, "I wish it never happened. It was totally a nightmare." These stories underscore the importance of financial literacy and planning. Winning a lottery is not just about the windfall, it's about managing it wisely. It's about understanding investments, taxes, and long-term financial planning. It's about being aware that a sudden influx of wealth can change personal relationships and attract unscrupulous individuals. So before you buy that next lottery ticket, remember, it's not just about winning, but also about handling the win. Winning the lottery isn't always a golden ticket to happiness, especially without sound financial planning. Often undermined as the smallest member of the currency family, pennies may hold more worth than you could envision. Let's dissect the cause. It all boils down to the material. Pennies crafted before the year 1982 consisted largely of copper, a metal whose value continually shifts on the global marketplace. There have been instances when the worth of the copper within a penny has surpassed the coin's face value. Quite a surprise, isn't your unassuming penny valued at more than just a penny? This introduces us to a captivating finance concept, the disparity between intrinsic value and face value. Intrinsic value signifies the true worth of an asset based on its perceived inherent value, inclusive of all tangible and intangible facets. In this context, the intrinsic value of a penny refers to the value of the contained copper. Conversely, face value is the denomination that a coin bears, which is, in this scenario, a single cent. Therefore, the next occasion you stumble upon a penny, don't hasten to disregard it. It symbolizes an intriguing glimpse into the financial sphere and the fluctuating worth of commodities. Do bear in mind, even the tiniest coin can embody value that transcends its visible worth. What if I told you an entire island was once bought for beads? This isn't a make-believe story from a children's book. This is the real-life story of Manhattan Island, one of the most valuable pieces of real estate in the world today. But let's go back to the beginning, to the year 1626. Dutch settlers arrived on the shores of what is now New York. They encountered the Lenape people, the native inhabitants of the land. In a move that would echo through the centuries, the Dutch proposed a trade, goods, worth about 60 guilders in exchange for the island. That's roughly $24 in today's money. And what were these goods? They were simple trinkets, including a handful of beads. This was a time when the concept of money was fluid and value was perceived differently. Now, you might be thinking, why would anyone trade an entire island for a handful of beads? Well, the Lenape people didn't perceive value in the same way as the Dutch settlers. To them, the land was communal, not something to be owned. The beads, on the other hand, were rare and valuable. They were made of materials that weren't readily available in their area, making them a symbol of wealth and status. Fast forward to today. Manhattan, once traded for mere beads, is now worth an estimated $1.74 trillion. It's a financial and cultural hub, hosting Wall Street, Broadway, and countless skyscrapers. It's a testament to the ever-changing perception of value in finance. The story of Manhattan serves as a stark reminder of how drastically the perceived value of goods can vary. What was once deemed valuable may not hold the same worth today, and vice versa. It's a lesson in the fluidity of value and the subjectivity of wealth. The sale of Manhattan Island, one of the most valuable real estate in the world, for mere beads, underscores the subjective nature of value in finance. From the oldest currency to the billionaire who lost it all, we've covered some intriguing financial facts today. We journeyed back in time to explore the world's oldest currency, then followed the tale of a billionaire who, against all odds, lost everything. We delved into the unnerving phenomenon known as the lottery curse, and discovered why pennies might be more valuable than we think. Lastly, we learned about an entire island purchased for a handful of beads, a stark illustration of the unpredictable nature of value. These stories serve as reminders that finance is more than just dry figures and complex calculations. It's a field brimming with fascinating narratives, unexpected lessons, and intriguing paradoxes. It's a realm where the bizarre can become the norm, and where the value of a penny or a bead can alter the course of history. Remember, finance isn't just about numbers and charts. It's also about fascinating stories, lessons, and paradoxes. Keep exploring, keep learning,